It's Dig versus Fly. Oh, I'm just excited to see what happens. Dignitas looked really, really good last week against 100 Thieves. And FlyQuest,
like 200 armor, 200 MR, just like
looked
the
pretty good as well.
In the world, engaging for you, doing everything.
All right, let's see. Oh, I'm loving seeing the Poppy. I think Poppy's really, really strong. I feel like I don't know if I've seen Poppy lose.
It's okay matchup. I'm just curious.
Oh yes, please, Vayne.
Whatever. Fair out in the lane because the closer lane.
Vayne doesn't actually make any sense looking at the comp, but I would love to see Vayne.
I feel like Renata is.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm really hyped for this.
Going on there. Would be exciting, but so far, just some pleasantries in the chat.
That's actually really cute from Quad. Nice to meet you.
You got to make sure that you lull them into a false sense of security. That way,
nice people right now.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, I don't know if Quad's met
with the vicious.
I know you replaced him, but
once that scoreboard doesn't have zeros at the top, that's when you can start typing a little bit more. But doesn't look like we're going to get anything super interesting here at level 1. Maybe a potential delayed invade.
Looks like Dignitas potentially looking for a lane swap.
Okay.
That's what I was keeping my eye out from the draft alone, and then, like, yeah, it just looks like they're opting into it.
Yeah, I mean, Kaisa Leona sounds absolutely miserable.
The lane first few levels, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The first couple levels, you definitely need to get something going. It's going to be nice because they're also going to have Poppy with this leash. Poppy Q obviously very good on the Raptors. Brand starts W, going to be clearing this out really, really fast. And Poppy's just going to walk along with him and be able to get this clear going very, very quickly. Where on the other side, Inspired obviously has no leash, so his first camp is going to go a lot more slowly. So we'll see what Spica can actually get done on this first clear, and if he can maybe cross back down towards bot side and get some extra
coming
camps.
up into the red buff, seeing potentially what he can do. I don't know if he knows.
Now he knows. So now he's going to probably try to go into vertical jungling, but we'll see if Spica is ahead enough that he can actually maybe go down and cross over to his red after this or something along those lines.
Depending on how this mid lane prowl goes, it's actually quite hard for Inspired to get into the red side jungle. I guess you do have massive bot gap, but like
really interesting that Whippo walked up there.
A little bit tricky with Jensen.
Yeah, absolutely. So just going to have to keep our eyes on Spica and see where he wants to go. He is pinging that he's going over towards Wolves. There's question mark things kind of over on Raptors. They don't have exact info on where Inspired is, but they do have a ward over by their own Raptors. So
this will be interesting to watch.
In through that area. They would have known, but it did now expire.
Licorice living the top lane dream here in the lane
swap. A rough spot here.
Yes.
Hanging out in the brush.
The top lane matchup of kings.
He's still having a better time than Whippo.
But he leashed, so it's top gap.
He at least had a slightly more
entertaining side
quest to participate in.
I don't know, giving Callista and Booster just so much gold here feels really rough.
Loving life up here.
All these plates
as well. He's on the board, baby.
Wow.
All right.
That's more than top laners usually get.
Top gap.
Yeah, this is crazy top gap.
Whippo needs to take some notes.
You can see it right there on the scoreboard. Plus 14 gold from that caster minion. That's
They canceled their recalls. Whippo knows that they're there. I wonder if he's going to walk up and try to just like make them cancel again. Would be pretty risky to do so. So it is just going to be completed recalls.
Yep.
Whippo now gets to walk back. He's going to be able to get a lot of this XP and we'll be able to pick up a fair bit of
that's really
here.
interesting.
Like there's about 6 minions.
A very short lane swap compared to what I feel like
go the other way now.
Seen in the
While we
past.
were watching that top lane play though, mid lane
I mean, still, Masu's ahead now. Got 2 plates down there up in farm.
If Jensen either choose to take a reset,
now you have to deal with a really
better and tries
not a
one-to-one trade
fed,
against
but
meanwhile, Inspired
further ahead than you, Callista.
For FlyQuest, pathing back up.
I don't know, that is rough.
Now, Jensen has this lane pushed up in mid, but it's not like Inspired has any sort of an opportunity to make a play on him here. As you can see, Spica clearing out the top side scuttle himself now on the brand. Both these guys at about the same pace, but Spica's going to go for the invade here yet again, recognizing that Jensen has control over mid. He has the push there. Spica wants to be able to contest, at least for the big chicken. And it looks like that one will be stolen away. Nicely done there from the Dignitas jungler.
That's big. On the second Raptor respawn, that's always like a big priority from when you do lane swaps. And for Spica to be able to end up getting the big one, I don't know how many small wins he got, but I think he got at least one. It's pretty big for him.
Yeah, so far though,
why is the second Raptor camp so important?
500 across
is there like more gold there than I understand?
Little edges in
like
every
a lot of
single
EXP
role right now, and of course Masu, as well as Busio, they got the 2-blade spot, so they have a decent little advantage for themselves. But Sven and Niles, I think, are going to be pretty happy with how this game is going, being able to actually get through.
All right, Spica, let's see what you got.
Spica's behind them, though.
They know about Spica.
They don't know.
They have no idea. Sven got poked there, but look at Spica just there, just chilling.
His entry. Masu and Busio,
and then just took a lot of damage, and then just
Spica now having to flash away as the re-engage comes out from Isles, but now he has to.
The FlyQuest bot lane played that beautifully. Oh, he's dead! Isles is dead!
Dignitas is getting styled, and FlyQuest FlyQuest make him look silly.
That was
really
silly.
well played. Busio just charged straight back towards the brand, forced him to use abilities on him, then stayed in the wave. So even though he got the E, he could never actually hit him with the C or the Q to get the stun. And then once you've spent the spell there, there's no way to actually fight back.
At the start, you see Leona missed her Zenith
So yeah,
play,
Leona missed the
it's
E,
hard
so
for
I
them
get
to
that.
engage. And if Brand has
Big
no
poke
setup,
there
how does
from
he do
Masu.
damage, you know?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's so hard to land this Q onto Busio when he plays in the wave.
Exactly, just playing right in the wave. They got the early chunk as well, so they try to step forward.
Hyles
Spica's
did
forced
go in
out.
there.
Hyles goes back in, but Cleanse was always available, so this is just really
Flashed a little
good
bit too
stuff
early,
here
I think.
from FlyQuest, even with the lane swap avoiding
Hyles
the
at
early
least flashed a
levels.
little bit too early.
Masu and
Lands the
Busio playing
handshake.
very confident.
Very, very well played by them. This is also massive for the jungle.
So Masu's just so far ahead right now. The lane swap, multiple
coaches
plays,
are loving it,
and they got a kill.
Dignitas should have avoided a couple more levels here in the bottom lane because that was not ideal. FlyQuest up over 1,000 gold now as Busio's coming around mid lane. Jensen gonna try to get away from this one. The handshake,
So close.
forcing the flash out from Jensen.
Beautiful
even after he
played
uses
by
the rocket
Busio.
jump to make
I
his
thought he
initial escape.
grabbed him. I was thinking this is
Still not the biggest thing, but I think
unbelievable
the
right
bigger
here.
thing is just that since
Oh,
Spica
wow,
used
look at
one of his
Whippo.
turns offside, he's now down 2 camps and then Inspire's
How
getting
did he
3
end up?
drops. So he's
How is he
down
just
3 camps
absolutely
or
bullying
more
this
if
Poppy
they can
now?
invade
Up and
upside.
farming everything.
Yeah, that is really big. And Licorice, you know, is going to take his first base now on top side. He will have to TP back and catch this wave. Whippo, of course, does still have his TP, but Dignitas at the very least will take 1 grub away, which is actually quite big. You get a lot of bonus XP on that first grub, and of course it is, you know, denying any potential 6 grub take or anything like that.
Essentially, they look for a 3rd Raptor invade of the game.
Well, also very close to level 6 here for Inspired on the Talia. Big playmaking
Okay,
potential.
Busio.
Once that
Okay,
ultimate comes
Busio.
online, as Busio just going to
Walk
encounter
your
spin that
walk.
a little bit as they make their way back towards the bottom
What's
lane.
happening top
Jensen
lane?
still has his ultimate to be able to
trade
escape
there.
if FlyQuest tries to make another move onto him. Dead even farm here.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
lane.
this is so
The
rough
Tristana
for
Corki
Sven being
handshake
down
is
so
just
much from this
going
Callista.
blow for blow so far.
I think
Bliss
this
already
is
has a
actually
dirt,
when the
too.
Corki matchup starts to become a little bit more favorable for
With
him.
the tier 2 boost.
Once he gets tier 2 shoes and some levels in his queue, you can actually start to like win the trades like you can see here.
So talk to me a little bit about the Tabby Rush. Obviously, this is becoming really popular. We're seeing even Merchant's Rush. Obviously, it's strong for the 1v1, but, you know, do you think, you know, it is worth the trade-off of having that later
Great.
one-item power
Killing
spike?
that
You
minion to
think
get a
it's
little
just so
poke on
important to have
quad
Pry
from
on that
Jensen.
1v1?
I feel like that was
I
so
think
spicy.
it's definitely situational, but when the lane is so close like this, the Tabbies will end up just winning you now. And now every time Quad can take like a Q chunk, you're always going to win these small trades out, like you can see here. Like just you can keep poking and poking and poking, and if you end up sniping him with a big rocket or a Q, he's going to just get such a big HP advantage where
Jensen actually
Tristana
has
can't
no
even win the
boots.
1v1 anymore.
So when you're playing it
second
from the
tier
Tristana side, though, now that Tabbies are actually
rush
completed,
from
what should
quad,
Jensen be looking to
and
do,
Jensen has
knowing he's
no
going to lose some of
boots.
these trades? Are you just trying to mostly avoid trading, focus on pushing the wave, farm it out, and wait until you have that Kraken spike when Corki's not going to have an item completed?
You don't have to like fully wait it out, but you definitely lose. If you have some like finesse to the fights and you can dodge his Q, you can dodge his ulti, you can definitely win. But you're just not doing a whole lot of damage because you just, yeah, like he just has tabbies. It's not a whole lot you can do into that.
Up top side, let's check in and how things are going.
Interesting
With
how
the
important
Renekton
Tabbies are in
versus
that
Poppy
matchup. It was really
you guys
interesting
were both
listening to APA there.
applauding Licorice
I don't play a lot
on
of
the
mid,
Poppy,
but,
recognizing the fact that this guy is one of the experienced
play a little
Poppy
bit of top.
players here in the LCS. Things are pretty stock standard up there right
Oh,
now.
wait.
With a 1v1 back in mid lane. Jensen's in
Oh.
danger. Has to use that buster
Actually,
shot.
Quad's
to keep
really low there,
Quad
too.
away. The power of that Corki so threatening right now.
Yeah, that got a little bit risky. It looked like Jensen was just focusing on trying to push in that wave, wanted to kill off the last cannon,
he was just
and
trying to
Quad is
ignore.
hitting him, exactly.
Yeah.
And with that pressure,
This
Spider
matchup
was just able to
around, especially
grab,
like
drag.
level 7 with this power
For
spike on
free,
Corki,
too, by
it's
himself,
can
so
get
no
super
rotation,
dicey,
and no one
once you see
could even
Tristana starting
try
losing
and,
those
like,
matchups, you
stop
start
him.
to panic a little bit. You know, he's already lost TP, he's lost
They know
spot
that
to
he's likely
Booster
around
coming mid,
there.
So you're like, you're not in the best spot, and then you can't really get help. So
Yeah.
he just needs any avenue
Look at
out, so
Speaking
he
Inspired
has
is
to wait
there,
for
but
the
they're both
ultimate,
just
which kind
backing.
of blows, but it's not the biggest
Oh wait,
thing in the world.
Inspired stayed.
So if you're Dignitas, you know, put yourself in the shoes of Jensen. As
What
we
a
see kill
great
here. Sven
poke
getting
from
low.
Inspired.
They could try to dive, but we'll be okay for now. You know, how are you thinking about actually playing
That Q
back
took
into this
away
game? 'Cause
so
obviously
much
you're
from
starting to
Isles.
bleed out in this game. Your bot lane is very far behind. You don't have a ton of playmaking
Ooh,
on
I
the
think Sven can
Tristana.
clear out this
Are you just
wave
trying
'cause
to
he's playing
slow it
Kaisa, so he
down
should be
and break your
fine.
sides, or what would be the plan?
I mean,
Oh,
to
look
be
at all
honest,
these
there's really
plates
not
on
much
Masu,
you can do
though.
until you get the
He's
Kraken
got
Slayer.
99
Once you get the
farm.
Kraken Slayer,
Actually, do you think he can just
start to
build?
become very aggressive
No,
and
he
like
shouldn't be
take
able to build the
extended trades
Clarky
versus
yet.
Corki in with the ramp up of Kraken Slayer. You can just straight up 1v1 kill him. But right now it's looking just a bit rough. The bot lane's looking rough. Mid lane's, you know, just in a bad spot for the matchup itself. everyone else is just in a stalemate. Like the top lane counter pick, even though you do have counter pick, you're
Wait,
just
do they get
even
this?
in CS.
They don't get this turret.
Yeah, I
do
mean,
they?
this whole game has basically just been about that 2v3 bot.
Wait,
right?
they
You
do.
win the lane swap,
They get
so
first
you're
play-
opting into
they get
giving
first
out 2
turn
plates
10 minutes into
guaranteed
the
to them.
game.
Then you lose the 2v3. All of a sudden, the matchup becomes
Unbelievable.
unplayable. You're stuck under your tower. You're not.
Yeah,
gonna be
I
able
don't
to
know. I
fight
don't think
back.
this lane
no matter
swap
what
was the
engage
move.
Isles finds, you're going to lose it. So
I guess we'll see what
it's
happens
really tough to
later
play
into
from
the
that
game,
spot.
but
It's a 3,500
right now,
gold lead, not even 11
yeah,
minutes into
FlyQuest
the game,
looking
and you can see
favored.
the gray hourglass there in the grub pit for that second set of those that's about to be ready to spawn now, and it's perfectly synced up with taking out that tier 1 turret in the bottom lane from FlyQuest's side. So now they can bring up that powerhouse Callista and Renata. You've got the first item fully completed
Yeah,
now
they're just
on the
gonna try and
Callista
grab
there
one.
with the opportunity, and Dignitas is going to try to at least take something here, but FlyQuest
Yeah,
are
do
making
they
it
grab
real.
the one?
First
They just
grub
leave.
That
belongs
is
to
so
Dig.
scared. This fight is so scary. Calissa's the only person in the map with the item, so she's so strong coming into this fight.
Inspired,
Great tally
great
wall.
ult.
Inspired
Licorice misses his ult! Oh, he's dead. He's
it looks like
uber dead.
Licorice is the sacrifice. FlyQuest
Uber,
are
uber
going
dead.
to pick up a kill. They're going to have control over the
Speak
top
had to
side
flash,
river.
too.
They're going to get these last 2 grubs.
Honestly, that wall from Inspired was just insane. It trapped
Yeah.
like 4 people in that little corner there, and just either forces them to die like Licorice did, or like use your flash out.
Yeah, that was a really nice angle on the wall.
It was a great
They
ult.
clearly just wanted to try to get 1 grub, and so they did get the 1 grub. They tried to get out, but they weren't able to do so in time because
rough.
of Inspired coming in.
Beautifully
And they
played
just know
by,
they can't
FlyQuest,
fight
though.
anything, and this gold lead is just going to get worse
And maybe I
worse.
think that might have
Basically, the
been a
entire
little bit
gold
too much
lead
from
is
Dig. Maybe Dig
almost
should have
irrelevant.
known.
That's
I mean, they knew
2.7K
that Callista was coming up.
3.8.
Maybe they should have
So
said like,
anywhere
hey, we know
Masu
we
is,
can't
you don't
fight
wanna
this
fight,
anyway.
right?
Not
You
let's
know,
not
look
even
at
risk
this wall.
being.
Such an insane angle,
the
traps 3
idea of
people.
doing that.
I think Spica ends up flashing out.
Oh,
Jensen
they
either
dodged the
jumps out of
Licorice.
lead, and then Licorice ends up getting caught by the handshake and just, sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, Jensen waiting on the rocket jump just to make sure that he doesn't get caught by any CC. Lets that hostile takeover get out of the way first. But man, it is rough right now for Dignitas. Total gold on the left side of your screen. Masu so far out in front of everybody else.
Yeah,
Man,
I don't know.
this
The lanes.
Callista is
I
a
don't know.
problem.
I have not been
And
convinced of
And
lane
once you win
swaps
lane
lately.
this hard,
At least in
this
the
early into
LCS.
the game, you can now just swap into the
There
top
were
lane
times
and
where it
you
looked
start doing
really,
the
really
same
good
thing
in
top lane. Like,
MSI.
you're so far ahead. You
And I
start
think
beating
that
those
might have
top lanes
partially
which I'm
been
sure
to
you're
the
gonna see
teams who
within
were
the next
doing
minute.
it.
So how do we stop this, boys? If you're wearing Dignitas jerseys right now, what are we doing?
We're going late.
Well, I did talk about when Tristana does get cracked
We're
in.
still
so I
early,
think this
12
is when
minutes
the
in.
matchup
You're
can
down
start to shift a little
4K
bit
gold.
in
Ugh.
favor of the Tristana side. So I think now she can start to get proud, potentially even fight very aggressively because she does have the item advantage over the Corki. But the bot lane matchup is looking quite tough right now. I don't know if there's any salvaging that.
No, I don't think there is. I mean, I think you're having to look towards playmaking in 5v5s, right? Anytime you're playing against a Renata, single target burst is not really going to do it in generally.
Right.
So I think you're relying on the brand, and you're also relying on things like the Poppy ult. If you can eject someone out of the fight, if you can hit a Masu or a Quad or an Inspired out of the fight, you can maybe take it with an odd-numbered matchup there.
Ooh, nice handshake again there from Busio. Been hitting these really reliably so far on the Renata.
Busio on
Causing
this
so many
Renata has been
problems
looking
for Dignitas down
disgusting.
in the bottom lane, and now even making his passes up through mid.
His
And you can
rotations
see
have
all
been
the
gross.
control that
His
FlyQuest currently
lanes have
has
been
over that
gross.
topside
His
river
CC
with all the
has been
vision they've been able to
gross.
establish.
And they end up just putting Masu out.
It's almost
in mid
looking
lane
like
and Quad's
maybe
going top
don't
lane. So I
let
think
Busio
for
have Renata,
pretty much
maybe?
the next few minutes, they're just gonna have guaranteed mid
Oh,
power.
Licorice had to flash
And
out of
a
that too.
flash from the Dignitas top laner as well. Licorice having to escape as Inspired once again being so threatening here on the Talia with that Blackfire torch already completed. This dude is scary. Everybody on FlyQuest is pretty scary right now for Dig. It is a threatening game state. Masu just continuing to push up in mid lane here. The damage on these spears,
Yeah, I don't know,
man,
just
with the
everyone on
lethality
FlyQuest
build
side
on
is ahead.
Callista, it hurts so bad.
Again, like look at the
Even
bottom.
Bubba,
It's
who's
just
been having like
it's
a
all
relatively quiet
FlyQuest.
game, nothing happening top lane. He's already at his 1-9 power spike, so Licorice is
I mean, you
just
could argue
component,
that
so
like
even he is a
Dignitas
scary
is really
force
good
to reckon
wave
with right
clear
now.
if you want to try and
Looks
do
like
that
Inspired
late
is not
game. Like
going
that's
to
your
be
win con.
challenged
Is just
whatsoever.
always
here for the
having
second
the
Drake.
wave
So
super push
FlyQuest,
forward to
they've got
try and
4
like
grubs
grab
to
a
2,
pick.
2
but
kills to nothing, 1 turret to nothing, and they're up the first 2 Drakes as well. Pretty much everything in these first 14.5 minutes of gameplay has gone their way, and it seems like they came into this game with a plan, and it's paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just really has been all about the bot lane so far for FlyQuest. You know, they created that massive advantage. That's going to get them pretty much every objective because no one can fight as long as Masu is there. So Dig is going to have to kind of choose their moment. It is also going to be Hextech Dragon, which is really unfortunate when you lose the early ones. You're kind of hoping that
Great
maybe it's like
poke
maybe
on
a
Isles.
Hextech or something that's a little bit less desirable. but Hextech going to make that even worse. So Dignitas are going to have to decide, do they actually want to try to wait and challenge at the 4th dragon and risk a potential soul off a flip, or are you going to try to challenge actually at this next dragon to prevent them from getting to soul point? Because FlyQuest are just going to keep snowballing objectives.
Even before the dragon spawn, like FlyQuest just has so much control wherever Inspired and Busio end up walking. Like they were bot side, they have so much control bot side, now they're top side, they're just taking Rift Toe, they take Dragon. Like it becomes a point, when do they start to let, or when does Dignitas start to play?
I agree with this.
Honestly,
they should absolutely let APA do this.
Feature if we could have spectator all chat.
We do actually have spectator all chat.
Do I get fined if I type?
But we're not going to do it.
All right. Maybe in the future. Maybe
we can get you in there for a show match or something.
Maybe we save that for playoffs. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, cook a little bit.
Get confirmation
we do
from
have
Ryan.
the,
That would actually
also going to be
jokes
picked up
aside, that would make it
FlyQuest.
so
you
enjoyable.
can see the golden outlines alongside that here, but alongside those turrets, Dignitas is so far behind. They already have objective bounties. If they can manage to
I thought Quad was going to get there.
But there's
I was
just
like, hold on, let me
nothing
not take
the
this
rift
bite
that
just in case
FlyQuest
Quad
is
solo
allowing him to
kills
get in close.
Jensen.
You can see Jensen forced out of this top side matchup. As soon as he runs into Quad in the river, the Corky's having none of it.
I mean, you can just look at the vision, right? Like, you look at the vision on the map, and it's just all
look at the farm difference from Quad and you can't right now, but in a minute, look at the farm difference Quad and Jensen.
It's so hard to go anywhere on the map because you know
Quad's favor.
Any sort of even fight, like even numbers fight,
almost
you lose,
30
and you don't
into
know where
Masu's
anyone is.
favor
They've
from
got
Sven.
no info. And it makes it so
the
difficult.
only lane that
from
looks
this position.
close is
You have to,
Licorice
at
and
the
the
very least, be able
Whippo,
to
and I think it's
defend
because of
your
the
own
lane
jungle
swap, they're
camps to
both just
try
really
to,
far behind.
Keep that gold income coming. Or
30 farm up,
And I like the fact
inspired
you're even
from
numbered fights because you're
Spica.
also up against Talia, who can instantly change
insane.
even a fair fight to an unfair one. As Jensen's jumping in after
Ooh,
Quad.
Jensen jumped into Quad, but there's just so many people up there, he's gonna get punished
making
here.
his way up through the tribe rush, looking for the dive.
Oh, wait,
Jensen
does he
gets
get out?
away
No, no, no.
as the
Okay, he does
teleports are coming
get
in for both
punished.
sides, but Jensen's gonna die on the back end.
Oh, they got into Masu! They're finishing. Wait, great job, Isles. Beautifully done, Isles. Let's see, Sven, are you able to do anything here? Licorice dies to Quad and Whippo up topside. But at least you're able to get Masu.
But they're running into the FlyQuest jungle.
Oh, Sven goes right into Whippo.
Whippo is ready and waiting. There's the barrier. I don't think that's gonna do
Yeah.
a damn thing.
I think Sven should have just kept running away on
That
foot.
might be the nail in the coffin for this game for Dignitas.
7K gold lead, 17 minutes in. FlyQuest slammed the door shut on Dig. Jensen TP'd back in. He had the tier 2 boots. He obviously had the Kraken for a while, and he felt like he could take Quad confidently.
He might have been able to
jumps
take
forward,
Quad. The
and
issue
he
is
just
that
started
there's
getting
they
blasted
had,
in that
I mean,
1v1.
he sees
fell very far behind
Leona
early on here. Look at a couple canceled autos as
Oh,
well.
I'm sorry, Whippo. He
And
sees
then, you know,
Whippo.
in this spot where you can't
And he
take the
still
1v1
goes in.
anymore,
That's
so all
such
he
an
can do is
interesting
run.
choice.
But the
Then
flash
Busio's
is there to
behind
follow
you.
him. Busio is behind him. Inspired's in the area.
Oh,
They're skirmishing on
great
the other side.
flash
They did get this
from
early kill on
Whippo.
Masu, which maybe gives you a little
Oh,
bit of hope, but then
immediately
you realize
kills Licorice
the
after
soul
that.
leaders are both losing.
Everyone
Ben
else
is
is
low.
so strong.
Exactly.
And I think the terrible thing about this fight for Dig is they lost quite literally, I think, every single flash in the game. I don't think any of them have flash up, so now, like, going into this, like, I mean, you can see it here. Jensen just doesn't have flash. How does he live?
I don't think he does, buddy. This is a pretty bad spot.
Here comes Inspired.
Inspired just sitting in the bush.
Inspired is gonna find him, sets it up for Quad. Easy peasy for FlyQuest. This game just feels totally hopeless now.
That
for
was
Dignitas.
unbelievable.
There's no room to move.
Inspired was
There's
just
no room
chilling.
to
He's
breathe.
like, he'll come.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in Dignitas' shoes right now, I don't know what to do. You can't win silent. You can't win team fights. You can't do anything. Like, I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, Inspired gets first blood in the Jensen versus Inspired matchup.
Yeah.
Perhaps more important than the FlyQuest versus Dignitas matchup.
There we go. One ding. One takedown on Jensen for Inspired.
All right, Inspired.
Honestly, man, there's still only that one kill this whole game for Dignitas. Yes, it was the kill on Masu, like you pointed out in the replay, Azale. But
Yeah.
when the kill on the Callista comes at the cost of your whole team,
And everyone's that ahead now, right? Like, that's the problem, is that they committed everything to trying to kill off Masu, but Quad and Inspired are just as fed at this point. You know, you're looking across the board, it's almost an entire item ahead for Inspired. Yeah, he just actually now has his tier 2 boots as well, so pretty much a full item up
FlyQuest
on
also
Spica.
stacks the third
Mid
Drake.
lane monstrously ahead
Yeah,
as well.
Dig
There's
is
no
a lot of
real area
kind
to
of
look for.
one-sided
Quad was
games,
able to
it
farm
feels
top
like
lane
this
tier
week.
1, bot lane tier 1, I believe. Or no, or bot
No,
lane
there's
tier
still
2.
two games
So
left
he
in
just
the
has such a
series. Like, I
massive
get
goal
that,
advantage,
but this
even
game
though,
is not
like, he himself has not
close.
been the one in a lot of these plays.
And there's the answer for the question that we posed earlier. Will Dignitas try to challenge for an earlier Drake, or will it all come down to the Soul? Well, there was no way for them to even get to this third Drake on time. FlyQuest now at Soul Point. As Isles
Busio's looking so strong on
He
this.
ain't gonna find it. As Dignitas again, just returning back to their own side of the map. They
Like,
have
this
no
Renata's
vision,
looking
even up in the river,
menacing.
man. Just that
Everywhere
one
she
ward of the
walks, she's an
pixel brush.
issue.
Everything
You have to
else,
respect
just trying to
Whip,
defend, hold on to
Busio
whatever
so
scraps of
much.
Summoner's Rift they still have, because
Also,
the map
so
is getting
satisfying wave
smaller
clear.
and smaller for them.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult. I mean, I think you're at the point in the game where they know they're insanely far behind. You just overload one side of the map, pray you get a pick, pray someone is playing a little bit disrespectfully, and keep looking for these 3v1s, these 4v2s, these kind of plays.
Farm the bounties, yeah.
Exactly. That's all you can really do is you play towards bounties, you play towards maybe overloading a side and trading for a turret, try to get the objective bounty there, and then you fight for Soul, you fight for Baron, nothing else.
Great engage on Quad, but he just gets out, and now Isles is dead.
Back away. Isles is on the front line, and he immediately falls. Quad's gonna take another kill. Dignitas now down a man, and they're about to be down another. Sven trying to escape from Inspired, but it ain't gonna work. Inspired goes on a killing spree. FlyQuest just killed 2.
That was disgusting. That opportunity edge of night on Masu with that Q rend. Disgusting.
They just decide, all right,
Unacceptable.
Squad, let's send it. You know, you have to take a
You
flip
really,
at
I think
some
people need to
point.
start getting rid of
Something at this point in the
Callista.
game. It's
Exactly.
So far behind. Like,
When I do see Callista, it's
It
disgusting.
looks like a good pick.
People need to
Sadly, you're
continue to
down
ban
10,000
this as
gold.
often as they have been, if not more.
10,000 gold, and Busio decided that
Another
Mikhail's
10,000
is
gold
a
lead
great
this-
item
this-
to buy when the only
this
chance they
week.
have is making a pick with the Leona.
I mean,
FlyQuest
11K
pick up
now.
the Baron, absolutely no contest.
It's disgusting.
11,500
Oh,
gold.
but Spica's dead.
Spica's gonna
no.
face check into the brush. That is not
Oh, never
where
mind.
he wanted to go. He luckily gets to
Spica
get
knew
away
what he was
without having
doing.
to spend a
Spica
Spica
flash.
wasn't worried about it. I think
Whip was
Whippo
just
could have
kinda,
stayed on him
"Yeah,
and killed
this
both of
is
them,
so
but
bad.
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Spica didn't want to
You
ruin
didn't
his
even need
KDA
it.
that much.
It's the
Showed he could
BM.
beat him, and then he backed up. I mean,
This is
knowing,
what I could do to you.
Exactly. Knowing what we know is just Isles, he probably could have easily taken him down, but he doesn't know, of course, who else is in the area, and if Kaisa is maybe trailing or something like that, then I think that's kind of what he was worried about. But either way, FlyQuest 11,000 gold lead. They're at Soul Point. They have Baron and Dignitas. I think they're just thinking about game number 2 after this one, where it's tough because it is a very stompy game, but at the same time, I think you do have a little
Look
bit of the cope of
at
just saying, well, the
Busio!
bot lane gank went that bad, and that was kind of the game.
To be fair, Inspired on
interested to
Talia
see
has
what
been
the
really
Dignitas
playing. I
does
don't think I've given him
because,
enough credit, to
I'm
be entirely
personally not
honest.
the biggest fan
His
of
ults have
Leona
been
Kaisa.
really, really
Really
good.
close
He's
to
had
my
great
matchup.
knockbacks.
Busio gets,
His
R5
map
counter
movement
picking.
has
He's very
actually
good
just
at,
been
like, these
insane.
counter
He's
picking
always
boards.
where he
So do you think then the
needs to
mistake
be,
was
it
letting,
feels like.
letting
You know
the
what I
bot lane
mean?
picks fall to the second round, right? Because there was
Just
so many
really, really
bans
well
thrown
played by
towards it.
FlyQuest.
Or was there a specific pick you would have still preferred them go, even with everything that had been banned out?
I think it differs from team to team, but I think, like, to me, Ezreal and Varus are like 2 big components to match with the Leona once Callisto's gone. And then since you drop your ADC to 4-5, they just get banned out. And then it's like,
Look at how much
well, now
damage
what do
that's
you do?
this Sven.
Now you have to go Kaisa, but then Kaisa's just not that good into Callista.
And you could see the damage up there in that top lane. Sven losing half HP to an auto attack and a rocket from Quad right now, who does have the Trinity Force, plus the Muramana fully evolved, ready to go. Zeal in inventory halfway there to the 3rd completed item. Now just have to back up a little bit as Licorice can at least hold on to the tier 2 here in the mid lane. FlyQuest still commanding the Baron for a little bit more
You know,
than
Poppy's
one
still looking
additional
okay.
minute. Honestly,
Like,
I'm a little
even
bit
though
surprised they
Licorice is
didn't
kinda
just
getting
torpedo
bullied,
right down one of the lanes and
Poppy's
break
still looking
right into the
fine.
base from this one.
Well, Soul does come up in a minute and 10 seconds, so if you're FlyQuest side, you can say, the instant you get Soul, it's such a broken Soul, Hextech Soul.
There's not even
Once
a
you get it,
weak
you win the game, so
side
maybe they're just
for
waiting for that.
FlyQuest. Right, it's not like
It
Dig could say
definitely
like, oh, we
appears
really
be
want to
that
catch
way
like the
as
top
FlyQuest
laner or
are
the bot
gathering
laner
their
or something like
forces
that out.
here in the bottom
It's
side
like,
river. Inspired just going to pick up the camps.
maybe
on the
you're
way
hoping
there.
that
Masu
Busio
securing
just
the scuttle crab
makes
here
a
for the
huge
team.
mistake and makes it
And
a
with the wards
4v5 or
being
something like
placed
that. Like, that's all you can
Dignitas
even
being
hope
forced
for.
Back. It looks like FlyQuest know exactly what they're
Oh,
going
but
for. What
FlyQuest
they're
is a
going
better
for
team
is
fighting
Isles. He has to
team,
flash the
right?
seismic
Like-
shove just to get away. The Weaver's Wall will collapse in time for him to complete his escape, but what about Jensen? He's now the guy who's gonna be
Oh, okay,
down.
good engage on
Isles goes in with a
Quad.
Zenith Blade.
Sven was
They
able to
locked
follow
Quad,
up.
but
Let's
it ain't
see.
gonna matter. Isles down to 2
Okay,
HP.
grab Quad.
dies
Now he's able to
first.
leave.
Nicely done from Dignitas, but it
So
is going to be a
it's
mid
a
laner from mid
1-for-1
laner
there.
trade. 4v4.
Quad died,
But
Jensen
Sven
died.
and Isles are both
Let's see
at
if
death's door. They have to
Spica
try to
and
get away
Licorice and
from
everyone's
this
able to get
one,
out.
but Whippo's still chasing him.
Okay,
Spica
Spica's
wants
dead.
to get out, but it ain't gonna happen. Masu gets
But
the
Licorice
kill
and everyone
as
else should get out.
Whippo's flash stun set it up. Licorice, Sven, and Isles all still
The
running.
Drag's
They
up
have
in
no
10
way
seconds, though.
to
They
try to
just
contest
lost
this
Soul.
upcoming Drake here in about 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah,
Sven's
wait,
still at
wait,
about
why'd you turn
100
around?
HP, trying to get away from Whippo. He escapes for now. They're trying to turn their attention back over to the FlyQuest. top
Okay,
laner, but
Licorice
it ain't
died
going
and
to
Isles
matter.
is probably
Licorice
dead.
knocks the
Send him straight
croc
back to
away.
Sven.
Wait, and you died anyway!
Doesn't even live.
Licorice, that was so troll!
A turret kills him.
Oh, wait, that was
I
so
guess that's
troll.
about the best thing you could hope for.
You should have, if you were gonna run,
Right now.
oh, whatever.
A double kill for
If you're gonna run in the mid lane, though, you should have at least let
for FlyQuest.
Whippo
And
kill
there's
you and
your
let Sven
next
go.
soul.
It's an alley-oop for your top lane, bro. You know, just give one up there to Whippo.
Don't kill me. You can kill this guy.
That's insane.
At the very least, he does get the execute.
And they get
but
the
this one's
soul?
pretty much all done, but the crying, they're going to grab the soul as well. There's clearly no chance for Dignitas in
Yeah,
this first
I don't know.
game,
They
but
could probably,
are
they could
trying
actually
to
ace
find angles,
FlyQuest
trying
and
to
it's
find
game
windows, but it just doesn't matter. Even if you get the one kill, when you're this far behind, you have to commit so many resources to that one kill that you have no ults, you have no summoners, you have nothing left, and you're chunked, and then all of a sudden you have to deal with four other
guys are also god.
Uh-oh. We, looks like we got even more problems. Another beautiful handshake from Busio. Uses the flash to guarantee another death for Jensen.
See, I thought I thought the series was going to be close, but honestly, after watching game one, I'm not so convinced.
Yeah, this is not a good showing from Dig. FlyQuest are just stomping them 16-2. And now, with the enemy mid laner and AD carry both dead for the next 25 seconds, it should be real easy for FlyQuest to wrap up this first game.
This might be the push here.
Yeah, first inhibitor turret's already gone. Inhibitor's gonna follow. Here comes the Weaver's Wall
This is a
just to
game.
make defending that much more impossible. Spica again gonna be forced to flash just to
It's a
try
great
to stay
game by
alive.
FlyQuest.
Whippo gets stunned as he
Really,
goes
really
in,
dominant.
and he'll kill the enemy jungler right
I
on
think
the steps of the
you
fountain.
cannot
It's
let
another
Busio
ace
have
for
Renata
FlyQuest.
anymore, though.
It's a 19-2 game.
That was disgusting.
Even close. Jensen's
I mean,
alive.
I'm not, like,
They're
everyone
still
else played
looking
really
to
good,
make an
right?
Extra statement here. They're still looking
But-
to prove their point and rub Dignitas' face.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
FlyQuest are taking it slow and steady because they already won the race. Sven at least gets a kill on Busio.
That
But
is
it's 19-3,
insane.
And FlyQuest absolutely stopped them.
Oh, I was so much looking forward to the series here. Let's see how game 2 goes.
Absolutely.
'Cause that was not close. That was not like a,
It was almost as many thousands of gold ahead as for minutes that were played in the game. Like, this was like a 20K gold lead at
Yeah, that was
27
gross.
minutes. The minions don't even spawn.
Let's see how game 2 goes.
I saw them play. They lost something
Whippo
as well.
counterpack, or
It's
counterpick
just
into
really only
Licorice.
been something that has been really
Yes!
successful in kind of really
Yes,
heavy
more
skirmish
Ezreal.
leagues, and that's
Wow,
why some
Sven's
people
back
are
on
thinking, hey,
Kaisa,
maybe this is
Leona.
successful in the LPL.
They really
Because
like
he
this
keeps
bot
kind
lane.
of
I see
fighting a lot
by
early,
from
and
them the
that's
most.
maybe causing the Nidalee to be able to
Actually, I feel like I don't
these
see Kai'Sa
advantageous
almost
positions.
anywhere.
But especially
Poppy
against
support,
Karthus,
kinda gross.
like, you don't really even outpace the Karthus as far as farming at all, and there's a lot of pressure on you to get things done early.
Yeah, Nidalee
I
has
will-
not been looking
are
very
gonna be right on
impressive,
Yep,
specifically in the
absolutely,
LCS.
but if you're
I'm not
wondering
gonna-
why this
I'm not
matchup
gonna
was kinda
reference
considered
all the
so
other
spicy,
regions
there's been a lot
where
of
it
trash
kinda
talk
does
going
look
back and
good.
forth. It kind of started with this inspired interview after finals where he's kind of putting a lot of the blame onto Jensen. You know, and Jensen, this was his quote in an interview talking about how
Yeah, I did
you know,
hear about
he-
this, and
he felt
again,
like FlyQuest had already made the decision to get rid of him, but just
I
really
don't-
weren't being
it's hard
honest
to
with
ever
him,
know
really weren't
exactly
telling
what's
him.
going on.
And there was also another kind of similar situation for Spica where he had a lot of frustrations where he had actually found out that he was officially off of the org through Twitter. You know, didn't actually feel that he had been communicated with. So there's a little bit of heat with that. There's also some heat between these players because Jensen inspired him and kind of going back and forth on some content now.
Yeah,
you know, Whippo is obviously a very big kind of boisterous personality, and he's going to talk his split whenever he feels like he should. You know, these guys are really confident. And I don't think they're necessarily
no
even
lane
seeing the trash
swap
talk. They're
from
just seeing it as like,
Dignitas
hey,
this
I'm just
game,
being
even
honest
though
about
they
how I feel. You know, you messed
realistically
up,
have
I'm
a
gonna
rough
tell you.
top lane again.
But it has created some pretty cool stories and some pretty cool content, and it's created a bit of a rivalry.
Wow,
here in the
okay,
LCS.
Quad, I
It's
see
so much
you.
more fun to
1,000
watch it
damage
when
a
it's like
minute.
that, you know, when you have just that extra little bit of sauce, that extra little bit of spice behind it. Brings
Okay,
me
so
back
this
to the
time,
old,
Quad's on
CLG
Tristana.
and TSM days, right? Hotshot and Reggie going at it with who's gonna win, having those matchups with so much on the line that everybody got so invested in. But we're zooming out here, taking a look at all three lanes. Licorice on that Cassante does have to deal with the terror that is TF top top. This guy is such a pain
One of my
to
least
deal
favorite
with
part
for
about
so
top lane
many
is getting
melee
counterpicked.
combos.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
really does make the
And you
whole
do kinda have
game
to wonder,
almost
did he think it was just going to be
unplayable.
Poppy top that he was going to be laning against? You know, was that a little bit of a curveball? This is going to be the 5th game in major regions this split that Poppy has been played support. Mickey obviously got a lot of attention playing it internationally and has been really good on it for G2.
Actually, Poppy support
And,
has not
3 of
been
these
bad
4 games
for
have
my
been played, with the Halo Blade. So obviously Halo Blade's going to be really aggressive for the laning phase. As Quad
Great
just
little
jumping in on Jensen
engage
there,
from
taking
Quad
a
there.
nice
Oh,
early
look at
trade,
him!
and did reset the rocket jump, so could potentially go forward even further. But has to be careful about that cannon that is just pelting him right now and kind of evening out that trade. But it's also just kind of playing, with this really aggressive mindset. I think when you're on Poppy, you have to really be in their face and have to be looking for these plays. Because if you play passively, you just don't get a lot.
Wow!
Right, you're just kind
So
of
much
sitting there
damage
being
from
like, I
Quad.
guess I can soak skill shots for you. Or
Aha,
whatever,
Inspired,
or
let's see
stop
what you
somebody
got on
from
the
dashing, but we
Garthus.
see Inspired making his way down into the bottom lane. He knows.
Oh, they know
his
where Fog
bot
of
lane
War is
about
so
to try
much.
to
It's
crash
so
this wave
impressive.
into the turret. He wants to make sure that he's here in case Spica was going to try to make any sort of a move on them. But Spica still just pathing back up towards the top side of the map. It's Inspired who will secure this bottom river scuttle crab. Spica's going to do the same thing up on the other side of things. And honestly, everything's just pretty quiet here in the early game.
Yeah, very, very even across the board.
You
except
get
for
Faded
that
Ashes
top
after
lane,
just a full
where it
clear
is
with
pretty decent gold lead opening up there.
No, you
for
don't.
Bwipo. We have to see
Interesting.
how many minions are still left to farm for Licorice, of course, as he may just have more.
Because that is
left,
actually a
TF expected
huge.
to get an advantage.
It makes
in
your
that
clear
1v1,
so much better on a lot of these AP
absolutely.
junglers.
You are just kind of cheating and printing extra gold with that passive. So it's going to be difficult for Licorice, and it's just going to be about him kind of surviving. I do think that Bwipo is someone that they potentially want to target with some of these ganks, and also playing alongside Isles is going to be really important for Spica. They have got to be successful as a duo, moving around, landing the stun on Leona, guaranteeing the spear, having that follow-up to really accelerate Spica and get him into a position where he can play aggressive.
Okay,
But for
Squad
now,
a little
looks
bit
like
too
he's gonna
far
look for a
forward.
wrap around potentially here on Quad.
Nope. Just
No,
looking out
wow,
for some
Spica just
chickens.
lets it be.
A jungler's best friend. Gotta make sure you keep tabs on those as Inspired. Now just going to continue his own farming, picking up the last little tiny Kruggy, and right back onto the chickens he goes.
Kruggy.
So Spica's going to at least be aware of where his enemy is. But Licorice stuck underneath this turret, man.
Yeah.
Low health, low mana.
I don't even
Bwipo
feel like this would
crashing
be a
that
good
big wave
gank from
in right now. He's
Spica.
already up plus 18. Even if Licorice farms
Right, like
all
can
of
you
these
even
minions,
kill
he's not gonna
Bwipo?
make all
Licorice
that.
has no priority
absolutely. He's
here.
still going to be down a good 10
Negative
CS,
priority.
pretty much no matter what happens here, which is a pretty difficult situation, but that is kind of the situation you often find yourselves in, especially when it is double combat summoners on the TF.
Yeah.
It even reduces the options of like, oh, he messed up, maybe I can look for an all-in. Well, no, you
Yeah,
really
Licorice is
can't.
actually
It's
down
very,
10
very
gold
hard,
already,
when
and
you're
I think
playing
it's just gonna
against
get
Ghost
worse.
Flash TF. Because if you overcommit to that all-in, you could just get chased down as well, right? So it really limits the options for the Cassante, and it just becomes about loss mitigation and being more valuable later on in the 5v5.
And especially for Cassante, so many times when you see Cassante catch somebody off guard in top lane, it's because they step just a little bit too far forward. They get Cassante'd under the turret, and he just displaces you so far. TF never really has to step close enough that Cassante can even do that.
All right, what you got?
The guy's
What you got,
lane
Bucio?
really ruins
Oh,
so much of that
okay.
potential setup that Cassante would look for that.
I thought he was
X
gonna
factor
try and
with.
E in.
Back in the bottom lane, Dignitas' duo is so much happier with the way things are right now than the way that
We'll
they
see
were
Speak if he
in the
tries to come
previous
out.
Absolutely. I mean, and we're just going to have to see, when these opportunities present themselves, can Bucio find the angles? Because when you're playing this Halo Blades Poppy, when you're playing Poppy support, he's going to be going Bloodsong, almost guaranteed. And it is just about finding that angle. They
I didn't
step forward
notice it
for
was
that
Halo
split
Blades
second,
Poppy. That's so
flash him, You
interesting.
stun him against the wall, you knock him up, you set up those 100 to 0
Really
plays.
good pokes
That's
from
really what it
Jensen.
is all about.
It's still really even
that
mid.
X factor, being able to reject people with the step back presence, with that W as they're going in on these dashes as well. Is
Okay,
really,
Inspired.
really big and gonna
You
make
clear
Spica's
that
job
quickly.
That much more
I love
difficult,
it.
too, because even if the Nidalee gets to a strong point, if you hit a spear and you want to jump in, all of a sudden you get stunned up by the Poppy as you go in from the Poppy's W.
Yeah.
You could just be lights out.
Ooh, Licorice.
Yeah, all
That's
out
what
right
I
there.
said. He shouldn't be able to find these angles. He finds one. Bwipo popping the
Not
ghost,
enough, though.
Licorice might have gone all out, but Bwipo disengages. Now
Okay,
Bucio in some
Spica's
trouble.
able to get
That
dragged.
presence
Bucio's
stops the
low.
Leona engage. Bucio has to flash to survive. As Masu
Great
flashes
engage by
in
Spica,
place,
but really
trying to
good
get
flash
away
by
from that
Masu.
one. Far
If he's
to
able to hit a
the
spear,
flash.
no,
Still in his
okay.
back pocket, still ready to use that one. Dignitas at least getting some of those summoner spells out of the FlyQuest duo.
Exactly, yeah. It was Isles flashing in there to try to land that stun as Spica went in for the Axew pouncing forward. Inspired now, there with Quad.
Oh.
Jensen could come over. They do have the extra man here.
Wow, they grab it. Al's is in, Sven's in. Oh, okay. Oh, no. Okay, so Quad ends up getting first blood, but then he's immediately traded back. But now this is really rough for FlyQuest. You have to be really careful. Totally great play from Quad. Because he got the first blood.
The kill goes over to the Kaisa. Sven's going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, he is. Quad as well, though, getting a kill. So both teams getting a kill onto one of their AD carries, going to be feeling pretty happy about it. And Jensen doesn't even get an assist in there, so it's going to fall a little bit behind as far as the gold is concerned, but not too big of a deal.
Oh, Sven's going to miss his cannon, too.
And back towards top lane now. Licorice just kind of continuing to deal with this punishment. The second plate here about to follow. And he does not have Ghost. He does not have All Out. Flash is still available for Bwipo, so it would be really hard to find an angle for much of anything. Has gone towards the Merc Treads, which are obviously going to be helpful for the gold card, but at the same time, it's mostly physical damage that you are going to be taking, so he's not really...
You know, funnily enough, Spica's done really good at keeping up with this Karthus. I feel like I've seen a lot of...
FlyQuest setting him up to be able to mine even more money off
Nidalee is struggling to keep up with these hyper fast clearing. I know Nidalee also clears really fast, and that's kind of what she was originally known for before this patch. Right? Like last year, if somebody picked Nidalee, you're thinking like, oh, they're going to pressure this enemy so hard all the time.
Yeah,
and currently Nidalee just doesn't feel like that to other AP junglers.
Sven, and there is no cleanse on Masu, so if you could actually connect onto him, there is potential that they could go in, look for an all-in play.
Okay, Quad.
Jumping in.
Yeah, Quad is not afraid here on the Tristana in mid lane. You do have that Ninja Tabbies, plated steel caps, whatever you'd like to call them, purchased here for the Corki. So Jensen knows that he's got that extra
heads up by Masu.
Power spike compared to what Quad has. Still just not going for that himself. Has the Vamp Scepter. Back down in bottom lane, Masu just firing off that two-shot barrage, might be able to cancel a
stopping another back from Isles. I would be so annoyed.
In this game, Isles has by far the biggest engage potential of anybody on the Rift. FlyQuest's engage tools are pretty limited. They have pick potential, right? Twisted Fate can show up behind somebody, maybe Poppy gets a good angle, but there's no...
Oh, great spear by Spica.
Yeah, exactly. That is going to be the difficulty for them. You know, you do have a little bit of poke, obviously, with the Ezreal, and we've seen when Karthus really gets going, sometimes the way they start the fight,
yes, sir.
That softens everyone up and says, you don't get to fight, right? You know, you set up to the objective, you have
definitely one of the best rune options.
2 potential gold cards, 2 potential Ezreal poke, and the Karthus damage as well can become very, very difficult. So when they do group up, I think it's going to be a lot about, you know, just these rapid fire gold cards.
I mean, FlyQuest is, funnily enough, is 1,000 up. And I think a lot of that's coming from top lane and the fact they got the first blood.
I think for them to have that primary engage. And on the other side, I think it's
Dignitas is very much in this game.
On Dig to be able to find those
Isles got out.
And here we go. Hex flash over the wall from Busio. Isles is
immediately after I said it was quiet.
Masu gets the kill.
Great job by FlyQuest.
Everywhere it feels like we're watching bot lane.
Yeah, Masu always knows where Isles is at.
Stopped there by Masu, and he lost so much tempo on the map. We saw that Busio got out on the map, was able to get some wards down on bot side, and that helped actually spot Isles as he was making his own move around, gets spotted on that recall,
getting bullied.
And Hex Flash over the wall from Busio, stuns him in the wall.
A really great job by Inspire, just pulling up that,
on Dig, excuse me, as
I don't know what it's called, the gate or whatever. Okay, Sven.
Here with the AD carries, Sven popping the killer instinct, barrier alongside it. Masu's down to 150 HP, likely to die.
Oh, Masu! Wait, Masu, that's insane! I really thought Sven had that with the flash over and then autoing with the passive proc.
He even used the barrier, used both his summoners there. Flashed over the wall.
Masu, you're crazy!
And he just hits him with the Q as he flashes in. That's that matchup that you're supposed to be able to win. That's why people like this. Is what I was talking about in pick and ban. You know, back in the day when Kaisa was played so much, it was considered a really advantageous match because of those situations where you find yourself in the 1v1, take the 1v1, take them down. But Masu finds the outplay, moves to 2-0.
That was beautifully done by Masu.
It goes to worse here for Dig.
Oh, that, I mean,
2,000 gold
damn,
lead here, just
that was
11
well
minutes
played.
into the game. Better state than it was in game 1 for Dignitas, but still not what they want to see. Quad goes in for Jensen. Yet again, he's down 1 level, so he doesn't really want to force this any harder. Busio walking up there, just drops the Ignite.
They're going to dive him.
Sven here. Inspired, throws out the wall.
I would be so annoyed.
Pushed up. They don't just want to hard
especially because now he's just waiting to die,
They
really.
are
He's just
keeping
doing
him
everything he
away
can
from
to
any possible
survive.
escape avenues. Sven down to 100 HP. Busio's going to eat a
Maybe he just didn't
shot,
want Masu
but
to get any of
Sven's
that
gonna
gold.
eat dirt. Inspired's holding the spoon to feed it to him, and it's a 4-1 game for FlyQuest.
I mean, is it any better that Inspired gets the kill, though? Maybe.
Of Quad's aggressive movements here in the mid
Wow,
lane.
okay, Licorice.
And Licorice will at least be able to grab something up in the top side.
All right,
They've
I
got
see
the
you.
second trio of grubs. They're going to get the first turret.
I mean,
of the
yeah,
game
so
and try to bring this gold lead back to
I'm
something
sorry,
more
Sven
controllable.
died.
Meanwhile,
And they gave up drag, but they were able to get top side, let Licorice move around a little bit.
Yeah, the gold lead shrinking a little bit with that top lane tower take, but again, it is Inspired just power farming here. It's Masu and Busio creating advantages for the squad
Licorice just
again.
dead here.
And now
Busio,
Busio up
Bippo.
towards top side. He has just been
He wasn't
so
able to get the gold
impactful
card. All right.
through both
He'll
games,
survive for now.
Really showcasing his stuff here. And Licorice is not out of the woods just yet. And if he goes for a lazy recall, Busio is likely to find him here. We'll see if he does actually check the brush, and now Licorice is gonna have to try to get out of there, but he gets knocked back and still can get stopped.
Oh, great unstoppable, but just even better from Busio. That's why I said for now. He did end up biting the dust.
Nicely done by Busio. You know, potentially Licorice could have just led with all out when he was kind of behind him, but I think he thought, I can just walk this one out. But at the end of the day,
interesting
Busio
that
knocks you
Licorice
back,
did
then
choose
has
to
this
back in that
FS presence,
bush.
stops you again.
Did he really not
Spica
think
is
that
here. Could look for something if he can
Busio
find a
would
spear, but
spend the time to
they're
go
just gonna
on
have to
over
drop
and
it 'cause he's worried that other people are there. So that's
continue
two
the game?
waves at least all going down, and multiple plates are going to fall, and your top laner just died. So now it's a 3,000 gold lead here. FlyQuest firmly in the driver's seat here once again, and we can watch this 1v1. Didn't get to actually catch the very beginning of it, but both players trying to sidestep each other over and over again.
Look at how
Masu
low
was just hitting
Masu
every
is.
single Q, and then Sven making sure he
Well
can flash the ball,
done.
gets right up against it, flashes over, gets hit by the Q. You can see the frustration on his face. He knows that's what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And the frustration from the dig staff as well.
That is
know
heartbreaking.
That is the situation that you have this matchup
3,500
Masu just
gold
didn't miss a Q that we saw. He was hitting
Fly.
everything, and he was playing in the wave. So the Acathian Rain from Sven is just getting spread across all of these different units, right? It's not all hitting the one guy.
Well, Isles down to half HP here as he needs to get out of FlyQuest's jungle. Luckily, he does have Sven and Spica both nearby, so FlyQuest can't fully commit to picking up another kill. But yeah, we were talking about Dignitas grabbing that first turret up there, trying to bring the gold lead back down to something more approachable. And then as soon as we mention it, FlyQuest make the play to double the gold lead that they had, up to 3,500 here. Again, 14.5 minutes into the game. The Rift Herald is live on the map. And once more, it's so much FlyQuest vision in the top side.
Look at all those wards
Yeah,
in that little bush in the
tough,
river.
I think, for Dignitas to kind of find
Quad
those
was sitting
angles
with
that they're
3
going to
wards,
need
just all little...
to make something happen in this game. You know, the reality is, yeah, Spica's got a little bit done. There's a jump in from Quad, but Busio is behind him. Spica's going to help to keep him safe. I mean, you're 0-0-1.
Yeah, how does Dig come back and get this game?
You are about equal in farm.
It's already looking rough.
Such a better spot.
Yep.
And I like the scaling from FlyQuest a lot more.
Not really anything they can find just yet. And honestly, might have
Oh,
a
look
problem
at
up here
this.
in the top lane as well. Bwippo chasing after Licorice here. Just
Oh,
putting the
Licorice
bullets
dead,
in
right?
him. Licorice,
What do you
I
do?
don't think you want to go any closer, buddy. It's time to get the hell out of town. Bwippo's looking to cut him up, and Busio survives the dive here in the bot lane. They're going to get another
That was
kill
a good
back
attempt
to
from
Isles
Licorice.
as Bwippo takes out Licorice on the other side of the rift. It's a 2-for-0 across the
Wow.
map, and FlyQuest is once again making fools out of Dignitas.
Bwippo just played that out really well, but there's just nothing that Licorice can do.
I mean, Licorice
The
needed to
TF
just
is
keep
too
running no
damn
matter what,
fast. He's
right?
chasing you down. He tries
Like,
to turn for a potential all-in,
tried to,
but
like,
you're
turn
never
around
gonna
a few
win
times,
when
maybe
you're
try and
that
get a
far
Q or
down
something. I
in
think you have to
health.
just keep
Can't
running.
escape, though, either, as even once the Ghost expires, he just uses the ult to continue the chase. So Licorice kind of checkmated in that position. Bwippo really kiting it out well. And now Dignitas really up against it, down 4K. They already lost game number 1. It's 1-7. And Inspired here, continuing to farm, taking away the scuttle, going to look towards Herald and just extending that lead even further as Isles is
Great
dead.
poke from Masu.
Isles is not getting
Isles
away from
died
that
again!
one, man. The support gap in this series has been massive. Busio
Yeah,
is
Busio's
everywhere.
had
He
some
is making
great
plays
games.
day and night. And Isles has just not been able to find the same results, the same success. 0-4-1 here on this Leona. I mentioned earlier how critical I think he is in this game because he is that one guy that really has a go button, but we're not seeing it.
It's funny that they had him back on Leona after the previous game.
Like he's just not
Actually,
right
True
place,
Shot
right
Barrage
time.
from Masu
So
could
much of
absolutely
League is
melt
being
Ven.
in the right spot. And his quad, not afraid at all. He's
Quad
the one
just
chasing
pops out, right?
after Speaker and Licorice. Maybe they can find
Great, that was a
something
really
here.
good spear by Spica.
Flashes away, stays alive. Blade of the Ruin King.
Busio.
And now
For the
Busio's,
first
oh,
time,
no.
gives him that extra little bit of burst.
Okay, Licorice, I see you.
Busio could be in some danger. Licorice looking to
Great
force
job
him
by
back.
Isles,
Spear
getting
there
it on
onto
Inspired. Inspired is dead.
Wanting to keep his jungler alive,
That's
but
awesome.
ain't gonna
Way to
work.
go.
Isles
Man,
is
wait,
on
that's
the board.
awesome,
They get
Isles.
the shutdown on Inspired.
It's so unfortunate because last game when
That's
they
a
got the big
shutdown.
shutdown on Masu, it went to the Leona. This game when they get the big shutdown Inspired, goes to Leona. Not where you want to see it.
Oh, wait,
Whippo
that went to Leona?
trouble.
Yeah, Sven's jumping on him. Whippo's outplaying it for now. Killer
Great job, Sven. You're dead.
Get Sven the kill, but he's got the explosive charge strapped on his head.
Well, you killed Whippo.
There and say goodbye.
Yeah, he knows it. He's going down. Did find that 1v1 kill, though, onto Whippo, so going to be happy about that. It got a lot closer than I thought it was going to be when the gold card came through. Oh, nice flash in for
Busio, you're insane. You're a monster. You're an absolute monster.
Plays. Spica down to 100 HP. Heals it back up.
That was, I mean, they didn't get Spica, but that was really well done by Busio.
Don't care, man.
Yeah, he's just completely not concerned with Dignitas right now. And honestly, 6,500 gold lead, 18 minutes into the game. I don't think
6,000
I
gold.
mean, they're styling on. This is
18
the kind of
minutes? Yeah,
confidence you
again,
wanna
this is
see
not a
from
close
these
game.
Young bot laners, Masu and Busio, have been the big story to me in this series, even though obviously all the talk coming in was against about Whippo and Inspired versus Jensen and Spica, you know, this kind of rivalry there. But it has been the FlyQuest bot lane making all the noise, walking the walk, talking the talk.
FlyQuest just gets the second drag here, uncontested, because there's nothing
that
that Dignitas can do.
The way of FlyQuest is now 6,000 gold lead, and they have the objective advantage here. And if it is going to be a mountain solo going the way of FlyQuest, there's just no way you can really see Dig, you know, bursting someone down through that.
Right, and especially, I mean,
that is so rough. All right, Busio, you got another spicy play for us?
Permanent shield that refreshes after not taking damage for a little bit is pretty tough to deal with here. Dignitas, honestly, I was hoping for such a close series out of this today. You even mentioned at the top of game one how you were looking forward to this head-to-head.
I was looking forward to it so much.
Yeah, dude, this was supposed to be the banger, and instead,
oh, Busio comes in and they're just dead. Sven is just dead. Spica's also just dead.
Spica can even try to get away. You're seeing a lot of pings up on Jensen as well. They know the Corki is back there, and they are looking for more kills. Another TP ready to show up, but Busio makes it easy for Whippo to grab the kill. Jensen's trying to fight back, but this Corki
great job by
to
Busio.
get the job done.
All right, so
Whippo's
Jensen is able to get out thanks to
not
Licorice
afraid
TPing
at
in.
Inspired and Quad ready to reinforce. Objective bounties are available
Shelly!
soon. They're gonna need a lot of
Shelly!
those. Gonna take down the tier 2 turret in the mid lane with a rift.
I'm so proud of her.
And FlyQuest are just
what a good girl.
everywhere, putting on a show today.
Oh, and the second
lane,
charge!
taking down the turret's mid lane. They're winning every fight we see on screen, and then you look at the minimap and they're winning elsewhere too.
This is just incredible.
8K gold by FlyQuest.
These guys
what is going on with Dignitas?
Really
That's
good.
insane.
I was the one of us who had FlyQuest the lowest rated on preseason power rankings because I thought they had a lot to prove after their showing at MSI. I thought they had a lot of issues that they needed to work out.
They did, but maybe it's just because the LCS is awful international.
Just have to be a believer.
Yeah, I mean, they are looking really, really strong and are going to be trying to look towards these other matches up at the top of the table. Obviously,
yeah, no, FlyQuest is looking really good. Are they going to be able to catch Masu out here?
Nope. Them potentially in playoffs.
Okay, good engage by Isles.
Flash for the Zenith Blade, engage after Masu.
Great job by Masu though, okay, now. I think that was perfectly done by Isles.
That's just fine. Masu gets away from it. No pick, no shutdown. Dignitas wanted to make the moves.
What do you mean top gold diff? The gold diff for everyone is insane. Everyone's over 1,000, not counting the support.
Any pressure on him up until that point.
But yeah, 3,000 is also insane. But it's also TF in the
just so slippery. It's very difficult to lock down Masu. You know, he is a bit too far forward. Does lose the summer.
I mean, Masu,
but as you said, that's what they're there for.
Masu did a good job getting out there, but he was a little out of position.
Would have loved to get the bounty off of him, but even if they do, they're just really so far away from being competitive in this game. They would need to get fight after
They really
fight
need
after
like
fight
a 50-50 Baron or something like that.
A chance. As Quad's on 2 items.
Into like an ace.
They're trying to move in here to contest around that river, but they just don't really have a way
there's nothing they can do.
No, and you can see the Void Seekers from Sven just don't do anything meaningful. That was, what, 200 HP off of Whippo? That's not exactly a tanky target, man. This is just not good for Dignitas.
Oh,
No
they
flash available on
could
Jensen
probably
or
just force
Sven or
Baron on
Isles.
whenever they want to.
Spica,
Drags
Spica
up
Williams out of the
in
way.
2 minutes.
This top lane gold
None for heavy,
diff is also insane at this point. It's over 3,000 gold, 3 full items already done for Bwipo at 21 minutes. He is farming well, he is taking plates, he's getting kills. He is utilizing that passive to the fullest. As Masu here around mid lane, they'd like
I
to
thought
try to
Isles was dead.
find an angle to go on him before his summoners come back up, but that is, of course, why FlyQuest is playing around him, there to cover in case there's any sort of an issue.
Man,
It shift
They're
in,
gonna
though.
just try and go on Masu.
TF, so strong here. Sven,
Oh, Sven's just
he
dead.
used the barrier.
No, not quite. Okay,
Baron
okay.
stays alive, but Bwipo's gonna grab the kill on Licorice. Now Sven has to still try to get away. Booster
Barely.
coming in from the side. True shot barrage.
The locket
Gonna hit
and
wave.
the-
It
and
will
the
not
barrier,
finish
but
the
now
kill.
Isles is
But
dead.
Isles is gonna drop yet again.
Spica's
Spica
dead.
wants to escape, but Bwipo deals
Jensen's
him a
dead.
losing hand. Jensen ain't gonna do
Everyone but
anything to
Sven died.
Quad. And Dignitas
They kept
just
Sven alive, but
crawl
what
and
did it
dust.
cost them?
This could be
Everything.
it. They're marching on the base 22
This might be game.
in.
They're 10K up.
FlyQuest made no mistake about it today. They show that they are the far superior team.
Dignitas is gonna need more than trash talk if they want to compete with FlyQuest.
Wow.
When they're playing like this. There's the last kill they needed. Isles respawn.
Good
but
game.
What is he even gonna do? Nexus turrets are already gone. 2 takedowns on Jensen there for Inspired. FlyQuest absolutely.
That was not a close
smashed
game.
Dignitas.
And Inspired with the all chat as the Nexus is exploding. Hits Jensen with the so vegan. A little bit of
That's
salt in the wound
insane.
there. Dignitas
Really
gonna
good games.
want their
It was
revenge, but
really
if they're
one-sided
gonna
today,
find it,
though.
they're gonna have to
Actually,
wait
the
till
series
playoffs,
from
'cause FlyQuest
series yesterday were a
crushed
little
them
bit
today.
better,
A
but
quick
all of
2-0.
the games
Back-to-back
today just
dominant
did not
series,
feel
honestly,
close.
here.
It did not feel close at all. Let's see.